Hi, my name is Aaron, or Wannabe Comedy, or whatever you want to call me. I'm a 19, almost 20-year-old man, and today I'm going to a Twilight marathon. Yes, today they are doing a Twilight marathon, starting at 3 o'clock at a theater close to me. They're doing the first Twilight movie, then New Moon, and then Eclipse, and then tomorrow at around 5 o'clock they're doing Breaking Dawn Part 1, and then after that Breaking Dawn Part 2. And I'm going to every single one by myself because I couldn't tell you. Okay, so like I am a huge Twilight fan. I own all the original movies on Blu-ray, so I could easily watch them here. But I've never seen the entire franchise in theaters. I've seen the first one in theaters actually a couple months ago when I went to Hollywood to watch it. I remember seeing Breaking Dawn Part 2 when it came out. And I think it might have been Eclipse, I think. That was so long ago. I don't even know if that was true, if that was a dream or not. But I haven't seen them all. I love all of the movies, and I'm off today. I got nothing else going on, and yeah. The weather actually is, I think, worked out pretty well. It literally hasn't been even remotely cold or cloudy like this, and I legitimately, like, it feels like a whole year over here in California. So it happens to be Twilight Day where it's all cold and cloudy. I think this was meant to be. Now I am gonna vlog the entire experience. I don't know how the theater will be. I don't know if it's packed or not. When I bought my ticket for it, it wasn't really, there wasn't too many people. So I don't know if I'm going to record in the theater, like audience stuff, depending on how packed it is or if it's that type of crowd. But I will vlog the entire thing, and I am excited to experience this. I brought out the Paramore shirt. This is from their original album. I am a giant Paramore fan, and they have a song in the first Twilight that's like from this era. It's only, unfortunately, the only close merch I have. I don't have any official Twilight merch. That should change at some point soon, definitely. But yeah, there's about like an hour left till it starts, so I'm going to get on my way. All right, I'm heading to the theater right now. Do I have any thoughts beforehand? No. I am Team Edward though. All right, I got to the theater. I'm watching this at. I have not been to this specific theater in so long. I used to live around here, so I used to go to this theater like pretty much all the time. But ever since I moved, it's been a bit, so it's gonna be kind of a weird experience. But yeah, here we are. All right, here for one. So excited to get this. Yeah. I am currently sitting in a bathroom stall. I was filming in there, in the hallway, and I was getting weird looks, and I'm not used to being a YouTuber yet, so yeah. But yeah, it was a masterpiece still, obviously. I mean, it's Twilight. Even if I was watching at home, it'd still be a masterpiece. But the crowd was really into it. It was really cool to see again in theaters on a big screen. I've seen this one in theaters before, so this one wasn't like as like a whole like different thing for me yet, like a couple of the other ones are. But yeah, it was really great to see. And I believe I only have like 10 minutes until New Moon starts, which I've never seen in theaters before. So yeah, I better get out of the bathroom. All right, I'm out of New Moon. I'm not in the stall because there was someone taking a massive dump in there. So yeah, New Moon was my least favorite. I mean, from when I originally watched the Saga, but I appreciated it a little more. There were still things I didn't really like about it as much, but I did enjoy seeing it in theaters, and I did like it a little bit more. And I mean, some of the characters are a little like did obnoxious things, but there are also like cool elements with it. So it's like, and it's like, you know, 50-50. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Eclipse is next, and yeah, should start anytime. I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but all the movies are actually in RPX and only $5, which is pretty cool. But yeah, see, you can see up there, Eclipse. Yeah, I'm excited because I found Eclipse to be one of my favorites actually. So yeah. All right. You can barely see my eyes. It's fine. I'm back home. I left the theater. I watched Eclipse. I know a lot of people consider it their least favorite. I think I might be wrong on that, but I really like that one. I still like it as much as I did the first time I watched it. Not in theaters, but at home. And I just really like how it's like it kind of has everything that you kind of would expect in a Twilight movie. It has the romance thing, and speaking of which, it kind of confirms even more that Jacob sucks and Edward's better. But yeah, it has that whole thing going on. You learn more about all the characters for the most part, and it has great action. So yeah, I really like that one. And yeah, that is the end of today, but I'll be back tomorrow for Breaking Dawn Part 1 and 2, so yeah. Alright, I'm back for day 2. Time for Breaking Dawn Part 1. I'm a little late, so that's how I'm kind of rushing to do an intro, but yeah, I'll kind of talk more about that when that movie's over, but we're back. I love this song. Alright, I am out of Breaking Dawn Part 1, and man, that is such a good movie. So at first, the rushed intro, I guess I get that out of the way. I couldn't find my keys, so the movie didn't start until I think it was like 5:30, but I showed up here at like 5:35, and they do show trailers, but it just bugs me kind of getting here even just a little bit late, and I still had to use the restroom, so that's why I was kind of rushing. But yeah, Breaking Dawn Part 1, I really like Breaking Dawn Part 1, and honestly, it's probably, after the 4 I've watched so far, I mean, I've watched this whole thing, like I've said it before, I've watched all of these before, and I think I originally had Breaking Dawn Part 1 at like 3rd or 4th, but after kind of rewatching all of these, I think I have Breaking Dawn Part 1 at 2nd place, right behind the first movie. It was really good. First off, it has the best soundtrack, I think, out of all of the Twilight movies. I know the first one had Paramore, but this one just overall had a better soundtrack. It had the wedding, which was amazing to see, the whole story, and it mainly just, there's not really any side plots. It was really just mainly about the main characters, like the wolves and vampire stuff, and them trying to figure it all out with the baby and stuff. So yeah, I'm really excited for Breaking Dawn Part 2. It's the finale, kicking today off with a high note, and yeah, those are my thoughts on Breaking Dawn Part 1, and I should get to Part 2. And there is the final sign for the last movie. Alright, heading back to my car. Actually pretty emotional and a bit sad it's kind of over, but I'll get more onto that when I get back to my car. Alright, I am back home. As you can see, I'm in my house, and that is it. That is the Twilight Saga marathon. Now, first and foremost, I'll just rank all of the movies before I get to the thoughts about the whole experience. So Number one, the best would be the original Twilight. Second would be Breaking Dawn Part 1. Third would be Eclipse. Fourth would be Breaking Dawn Part 2. And then fifth would be New Moon. I'm pretty sure I said all of that right, and I named all the movies. But yeah, that is my ranking after seeing them all again in the definitive way and with my current mindset. But this was a great experience, and well, I don't think I mentioned what I thought of Breaking Dawn Part 2, so I'll get into that real quick. So Breaking Dawn Part 2 is interesting. It's the finale, so it tries to wrap everything up, and it feels like the most different compared to the rest. It feels like it's trying to be like the big finale. So there are times where it just, I don't know, I guess seeing them all back to back, it just feels a little off at times, but it's still a very solid movie. I don't think there were any movies that I disliked. The most I disliked would be New Moon, but I did like this one as well. But I would say that the second half definitely carried it for me. And the reason why is because it feels like the whole movie isn't really its own movie, if that makes any sense. It feels like it's just setting up for that finale, which, man, that finale, this will tie into something I talk about right now with the whole experience, but that whole, like, once they do get to kind of, you know, getting ready for the battle, and then the battle, and that whole, like, ending, which gets emotional, that second half is beautiful. It is awesome. I love that second half. It's just that the whole rest of the movie, other than, like, the battle stuff and the ending, which was great, just that the rest of it is kind of what brings it down compared to the rest. But yeah, I do think it did wrap up everything well. Again, I have to say this again. I've seen these movies before, especially this one. I think I've seen this one more than any of the other ones before. And it's just different, which now I'll get into the whole seeing it again in a theater. This whole experience has really proven my point on why I believe that theater experience is the best experience and the real true way to watch a movie. Like I mentioned, I had seen Breaking Dawn Part 2 many times. I've seen The Battle many times, but seeing it on a giant screen like that, I kid you not, even though I've seen it many times, seeing it on the actual big screen, I legit got chills watching it. Like, I was like, ooh, whoa, and like, it's like seeing it in a big screen, all the speakers, just like no distractions, just, it's a whole different experience than watching it at home or anything like that. That's why, even if it's a movie you've seen before and you're like, well, I can just watch it at home, go watch it in a theater. There's a reason why it was meant for a theater. Go watch it in a theater. It's a whole different experience, and it just elevates every movie, especially ones that you love, like I love Twilight movies. This just made watching all of them so much better than those times I've watched them at home. So I'm so grateful that I got to do this, which made me emotional at the end, because not only is the ending of, you know, Breaking Dawn Part 2, it's like a recap of, I wouldn't say recap, but it shows flashbacks to all the entire saga, and it's already emotional, and it made me, like, choked up. But the fact that I got to do all this, and there's no more after, and going through this entire series, it really got to me. Like, man, like, I can't believe that, like, it sucks that this is over, because it was such a great experience, and I did have a lot of fun. So if they ever do this again in your area, whoever's watching this, I highly recommend going, because it is just next level. And yeah, there's nothing much else to say. I really had fun. I loved seeing these movies. They were all great, and I recommend doing it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I enjoyed making it. I hope to do more of this soon. And yeah, the one thing I will say I didn't like seeing on the big screen as much, though, was that CGI baby, man. You could really tell But I'm sure if they could have made it better, they would have, and it didn't really affect anything. But yeah, that's CGI, baby. I'll end it on there. Comment if you've seen them all, what you thought of them. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.